तुझे देखने का
Hey guys, MrTLexify back, and in today's video I'm coming at you guys with another top 5 zombie secrets, and in this one, this is going to be the top 5 Shi No Numa secrets video. And again guys, I stress that you watch the top 5 Nocturne Totem secrets video and Verruckt secrets one before coming onto this one. This list is in no particular order, and I'm going to be having a new map for each and every single week for the top 5 secrets series, and until next week will be Derice. But anyways guys, let's head straight down into the video. So coming in at our number 5 spot, this is going to be that the storage radio has some sounds from the Verruckt map trailer. Now you might be thinking, wow, that's pretty damn awesome, and I know you might be thinking like, yeah, that's kind of useless, but this does have some relevance with what I have later on in today's video. But going down to the second part of the number 5 spot, I believe there's a possible, a little bit of an allusion to the Mob of the Dead map. Now if you actually play the Black Ops 1 version of Shi No Numa, Nikolai says, "Lucifer, I'm coming for you," and there's no reason why he ever says that or why he should say that. And the reason why I think he says that is because on the Shi No Numa trailer you can actually see some zombies that have red eyes. I think if you go in 20 seconds in the trailer or 18 seconds, and I believe that this has some sort of relevance to do with Mob of the Dead. And what's really cool that supports my theory is that in Shi No Numa, this was the first map that Hellhounds was ever released in, and what's a huge component in Mob of the Dead, the Hellhounds to get the Hell's Retriever. So I thought that was a really nice little Easter egg that they plopped in at the last second. But anyways guys, let's head down straight into our number 4 spot, and in today's video, this is going to be a little bit more map illusions. Now I decided to make this a different one just because I think this is a little bit more unique. So if you go into the starting room of Shi No Numa and you activate the 3 radios, you will be able to actually hear a voice saying a lot of random numbers, and the numbers are actually turning out to be coordinates that lead up to Area 51. And it's very, very interesting because in this sort of radio talk, you can actually hear Peter saying that he really doesn't like 115. So that's another big component to today's video, and it's really awesome thinking that Treyarch already had ideas when Shi No Numa came out to have Area 51 and Moon to come out. I thought that was really, really cool, and I thought that was really awesome. And again, with this, there's also one more part to the number 4 spot. If you go down below to where the starting room is, one floor beneath it, you will find a little piece of charred paper with 2 phrases on it. The first one being Die Glock, and the second one being Derice. Now obviously this was the Derice map illusion that would be coming out after the Shi No Numa map. And also guys, Die Glock is actually a part of the Wonderwaff. Wonderwaff DG2 literally means Wonderwaff Die Glock 2, and there's a reason why it's the second version, because that was the successful version and the first one actually wasn't. That's a huge component into what I'm going to say later on into this video. Anyways guys, let's head down straight into our number 3 spot, and in today's video, this is going to be the Power Will Destroy Us All Easter egg. Now this is why I said guys, if you haven't watched my Nocturne Totem secrets or my Verruckt secrets, this is where shit hits the fan, because you really have to know those secrets for these secrets to start building up on each other and for them to start making sense. Now personally, what I think this means is that Power Will Destroy Us All is a warning. I believe that this is a warning because it has something to allude with Richtofen and Maxis from the buried Easter egg about how they destroy the earth, and that you have to turn on the power, and that's the very first step to actually summon them. So I think that's really, really cool that they would have actually added this, and the way that they actually portray this quote is very interesting as well. You can never actually go straight up to this quote. It's very, very far away, and you're probably going to need a sniper to look at it. Now a really cool thing about this is I believe it's far away just because it's far away from the storyline at this very moment in time. In Shi No Numa, from Shi No Numa to Buried, there's still a shit ton of maps that you have to go, and I thought that was a really cool little thing that they added too. And I believe this is also the reason why Shi No does not have any power on the map. It's just because it's saying that power will destroy us all, so we're just not going to have any power on this map. Again, that also has something else later on with this video. And one little more cool thing is that the mystery box light in this map is yellow. It's the only map where the mystery box light is yellow. There are no other maps with the yellow color. We've seen maps with blue and red, but we've never seen yellow, and I think that's a reason why. And I believe this has an illusion with a specific character on this map. But anyways, guys, let's head down a little bit more onto this number 3 spot. And there's actually a little glitch on this map. If you play on the Black Ops 1 version, and if you open up a door to where the perks are, you will be able to stand up towards the perks, and it says that you must turn on the power. Obviously, you can't do that because Shi No is one of the very few maps that doesn't have a power switch, and I think that has a little bit of an illusion to this as well. And again, also another really cool thing, speaking of perks, is that there were 4 different perk models that were never actually made into the game, and it's just basically the original 4 perks, but they're just a little bit corroded and broken. That's about it, and I think that has something to do with the power will destroy us all, and you can see that as a clear representation with these perks. But anyways, guys, let's head down straight down into our number 2 spot, and in today's video, this is going to be that the same knife on Verruckt also appears in Shi No. Now, you might just be thinking, wow, dude, you just figured that out. That's really, like, whoop-de-fucking dude. Like, that makes so much sense. But anyways, with this, I believe it has a lot to do with Richtofen. How do we know it has a lot to do with Richtofen? Because Richtofen first appears in Shi No, and I believe that Richtofen was the one that put the knife there in Verruckt. I forgot to say that in my Verruckt theory, but I believe it has a lot of relevance now. And also in Shi No, you find this knife bent. It doesn't have the blood on it, and I believe this knife was actually used to cut off Max's arm. In the Verruckt theory, if you were there, there was the same knife, and you find that knife in Shi No, but it's bent. It's very, very interesting that they would add that, and I believe also this has something to do with the storage radio from Verruckt. The Verruckt, like I said, in the number 5 spot, the kind of useless part, now it has some sort of relevance because it has something, an allusion to Verruckt. I thought that was pretty cool, and I believe that the power will destroy us all was also written by Richtofen, obviously, because I've said in my other videos that Richtofen writes the quote. So it'd be very, very optimally said that Richtofen probably put the knife there and it's bent, and I believe that has a lot of symbolism. So I thought that was really, really cool. Anyways, let's head down a little bit more onto this number 2 spot, and there's a really big clue in this map. If you go up to this certain bookshelf in the Shi No map, you will be able to find a huge little Easter egg, that's pretty awesome. But you find this Easter egg, and if you hold up X to this book, you will hear Richtofen's evil maniac laughter. It's just howling, and I believe this is because in Shi No, if you don't know, this was a basic torture site in the Japanese swamps. Basically, Shi No, that's the whole map synopsis, and I believe that Richtofen was the person that actually tortured the people. You can find this because there are many surgical posters around the map, and I believe that this has some sort of correlation with the knife, because the knife is a certain torture tool that you can use. Torture was a big sort of component in Verruckt, and I believe that it is also a huge component into Shi No, and I believe the quote really fits here. If you torture one, you're going to torture all, and we do see that a lot with the buried Easter egg about how Richtofen, if you choose for him to become the ruler of the earth, he will become the ruler of the earth and practically torture everyone, and he's just an insane, fucked up guy, and we can really see his evil doings in this map, and I believe that has a lot to do with this. And Max has also taught him these torture methods. We can find this in Origins when he was really scared. Again, I'll talk about that a lot in my Origins top 5 secrets video. And again, speaking about the start where Origins is, Tunguska again makes another appearance. Like I said in my Verruckt theory, Tunguska actually makes it into this, and we can find a piece of Tunguska. And if you haven't seen the Verruckt theory, again, I'd suggest you to watch it, but Tunguska is basically the meteorite that fell fell, and you can actually find a meteorite in the Shi No map. You can find it outside. You can't actually go to it. You can only go to it in no clip, which I'm doing right now. And it's very, very interesting seeing it there. And with Tunguska, apparently the description is that this thing landed on this Japanese swamp with the people living it there, and these people just tore their eyes out, and it's just such a gruesome description of what they did, and they essentially just became zombies. But anyways, guys, let's head down straight into our number 1 spot, and in today's video, this is going to be Peter McCain's Dying Curse. Now, I believe that Shi No was a dedicated map made for Peter McCain. Now, if you don't know the backstory about Peter McCain was supposed to be one of the main characters until he died into Shi No. Now, let's keep going. If you find this telephone on Shi No, you'll be able to hear a quote if you hold X 3 times, and it says, "I know you're sleeping." And then once that has happened, we'll start playing the song called The One, and it's very interesting. I thought this had something to do with the Origins Easter egg, but no, it actually has a lot to do with Peter McCain. Now, I know you're sleeping. Sleeping definitely does not mean actual sleeping. Sleeping in this case would mean dead, and the only person that we found on the map Shi No that's dead is Peter McCain. And the reason why I say it's his dying curse instead of his dying wish is because remember when I said that Peter McCain's goal was not to actually spread around the element 115. He knew it was very dangerous and he wanted to end it. I believe the reason why he died is because of his curse had finally became true. I believe it's sort of like him, it's like a ghost story where the ghost stays into this house, you know, and they haunt the house until their wish has become true, and then they finally leave the house. This, I believe, is a little bit opposite. This is his dying curse. And remember, again, like I said, he didn't want 115 to work, and we know this by the starting room radio. He thought it was too powerful, and I believe this has something to do with Die Glock. And Die Glock, again, what has Die Glock in it? The Wunderwaffe. The Wunderwaffe DG2 has Die Glock in it, and I believe once the Wunderwaffe was finished, this is the solid solidification that that element 115 was going to spread. Once he knew how to weaponize it like the Wunderwaffe, that is when he knew that it would be all over. And there's a lot of really cool stuff about that. Another thing that supports this is that if you actually go to the comm room radio, you hear a quote that says, "Please save us, God," and God refers to the actual Christian God, not the actual rulers of the earth in this scenario, which would be Richtofen or Maxis. And also in the storage room radio, you hear "Save my soul," and people believe that it's either the tortured victims of Tunguska, which eventually turned into zombies, or Peter McCain. He's trying to get out of this predicament, but Richtofen is just holding him down. How do we all know if any of what I'm saying is true? Well, let's go to the iOS version. Now, the iOS version of Shi No it's a little bit different because you can actually get this shovel by opening up all the doors. And once you go to the specific spot in the map, you will find a grave site that says Peter McCain. He's actually not hanging on this grave site. He's not hanging on the map, I mean, but he's in the grave site. Now, once you hold X on this grave and you dig it out with your shovel, you will get a Wunderwaffe and Peter McCain disappears. I believe this is like a seal has broken. He is finally released, and this is why the knife was bent. Peter's dying curse of his undoing has been fulfilled, and the reason why the knife was bent was because he was hung. His neck was crooked. The bentness was part of Peter McCain's just dying curse of whatever had to happen. And this is just so sad because Peter McCain, Shi No is basically Peter McCain's map. It's his dedicated memorial for his doings of 115. And the reason why you get the Wunderwaffe from holding X by Peter McCain is because it's his worst nightmare. It's just saying that 115 was able to weaponize and ship out everywhere. And this is the reason why Peter McCain McCain was able to die and essentially go up to the afterlife. This is when we knew that his dying curse has finally been fulfilled, and this is one of the largest maps where we see Richtofen's just his evil doings, and it's horrible to say that, but we finally see that. And the reason why you get the Wunderwaffe is because, like I said, it's his dying curse, it's his nightmare. And when you go onto Kino der Toten, in the storyline, the Kino der Toten version is when the Wunderwaffe DG2 prototype finally works, and this was the dying curse of Peter McCain, to know that 115 would be able to weaponize, spread around the earth, and just basically destroy the whole earth. And that is when at Kino der Toten, the loading screen, you were able to see Peter McCain on the top right, and this is him just saying that I warned you guys about 115 and now it's going to kill you all. But anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this super duper long ass video about Shi No Numa. I know it was very long. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If we can hit 2,500 likes for the next top 5 secrets video, that would be awesome. Thank you guys.